Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Ojinika.
Good morning,
Dr.
Abati. Did he actually say that?
He went there.
It's what's trending on the morning show with Okpe. Dr. Abati, how are you this morning?
Good.
You look dapper in those glasses.
Thank you.
All right. Look at him, he's so shy. Good morning, Tundu.
Morning.
I love your peach.
Thank you, Daddy.
You look great. We missed you yesterday.
Thank you.
Rufai, good morning.
Audrey, you're looking great. You're looking wonderful.
Thank you.
Everybody's looking great.
You do.
in
You
the
look
studio.
awesome. You look amazing.
You know, Dr. Abati is my coach, so.
Is it really?
I'm channeling Dr. Abati
Okay, great.
with all of his great ties and
Well, I love your yellow tie.
Thank you.
All right.
You make me look good.
I am always happy.
Thank you.
Well, all right. Good morning to you viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United Kingdom, Meghan Markle, who will not be attending the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip's funeral, has reportedly reached out to the Queen to share her condolence, while it remains unknown if the Queen will allow Prince Harry to be referred to as His Royal Highness during the funeral service of his grandfather. And the world's biggest rabbit, known as Darius the Rabbit, has been stolen from its owner's home in Stolton, Worcestershire. The 4 feet 3 inch long rabbit holds the Guinness World Record, and the owner, Annette Edwards, is offering £1,000 for his return. In the United States, Kim Potter, the police officer who fatally shot 20-year-old Dante Wright during a traffic stop near Minneapolis, has resigned after a statewide protest. She has been with the Brooklyn Center Police Department for 26 years.
Say his name!
Dante Wright.
They murdered my nephew! She killed my nephew!
And founder of Black Lives Matter, 27-year-old artist Patrice Cullors, has been branded a fraud after buying a $1.4 million home in an upscale neighborhood in Los Angeles. In Kosovo, congratulatory messages have been pouring in for the newly elected president, 38-year-old Vjosa Osmani Sadriou, who is set to be the country's youngest head of state and the second female leader to command the country's armed forces. In Nigeria, Aisha Bashir Aliyu has become Nasarawa State's first female chief judge. She will be the 5th person to occupy the position since the state was created in 1996. Under sports, basketball star Stephen Curry has made history by becoming the Golden State Warriors' all-time leading scorer with the 9th 50-point game of his career after Monday's NBA victory over the Denver Nuggets.
Look at that, 7 games with 50 and 10 threes for Steph Curry.
The National Sports Festival in Nigeria took a dramatic turn on Tuesday after some members of Team Ogun State disrupted a boxing event over allegations of unfair officiating. Finally, under entertainment, streams of songs of the late rapper DMX have reportedly increased by 928% in the United States. Well, let's begin what's trending in Nigeria. The proscribed Indigenous People of Biafra on Tuesday warned Igbo youth against joining Ebubeagu, the newly formed security outfit established by southeastern governors over the weekend. The group's media and publicity secretary, Emma Powerful, in a statement, indicated that the security outfit, Ebubeagu, was established to sabotage IPOB and the Eastern Security Network, which was formed by the proscribed group. The group has warned that any person that joins Ebubeagu to spy on the Eastern Security Network should be prepared to join their ancestors. IPOB went further to describe the action of the southeastern governors as unnecessary and a waste of resources, and faulted the manner in which it was formed. Dr. Abati, Ebubeagu was formed over the weekend by the southeastern governors. Now, the proscribed group, they are accusing the southeastern governors of neglecting their Eastern Security Network, which was formed last December. Correct me if I am wrong. And they're saying, yes, and they're saying that, it's a waste of money, they should have collaborated, and like I said, they were formed to spy on, that network. But also, if you would recall, the Inspector General of Police had accused IPOB of that Owerri attack, and a lot of people are saying that it is IPOB and the Eastern Security Network that are challenging the government. I don't know what your take is.
Well, I mean, it's legitimate to disagree. When the governors of the Southeast, 5 of them, decided to set up Ebubeagu, the glory or greatness of the lion, as a security network, they were responding to the spate of attacks across the southeastern part of Nigeria.
Correct.
Although I had raised the point that the details in terms of Ebubeagu were fuzzy at the time they announced it. Are they trying to do something like Amotekun? Will there be legal backing, proper legislation across the states, as was done with the Western Nigeria Security Network, that is the Amotekun?
Yes.
Now, these governors, they've not taken these consequential steps. What they have done so far is merely to announce the existence of Ebubeagu. So it's still at the level of intention. Or again, another legitimate question to raise is, will it be a form of community policing? Now, if IPOB had just stopped at the level of just saying we disagree, that would have been enough. But to go a step further, to now impugn motives. One, Emma Powerful, in the statement that he issued, says that the governors want to sabotage the Eastern Security Network and IPOB. How? It's the governors that have legitimate authority, to provide security for the people. Either they do that as state government, or they do it in collaboration with the federal government. Yes. Because they were talking about partnership with the Nigerian police.
Yes.
IPOB and ESN, to the best of our knowledge, are non-state actors. And I find it very curious that non-state actors have now reached a level where they dictate to legitimate constituted authority, as you have also seen in the Southwest. And it's an indication of the extent of the anarchy that has crept upon Nigeria as a result of the failure of the governments at all levels to secure lives and property. Now, where do I have a problem with that statement? It's enough to disagree, but to then go further and say anybody that joins the new outfit called Ebubeagu should be prepared to join his or her ancestors. Now, that's curious. That's a threat. So would the IPOB or ESN now assassinate people who volunteer to join the government outfit? Now, this is curious again, because you recall that when the ex-trial Inspector General of Police accused IPOB and MASOB of being behind the attacks in Owerri and Olu, IPOB came forward. One of the officials said, look, IPOB is a non-violent group.
Yes. Right?
The person went for that, the official went for that, not Emma Powerful, another person. He also said that they do not carry arms, that they are not likely to be attacking people they have vowed to protect. But what Emma Powerful is now saying contradicts that. He's merely insinuating that IPOB is indeed a violent group. Is that what he's insinuating?
That's the question.
If he's threatening whoever joins a government setup and he's saying that such a person will be attacked, it's very curious. I think that should be investigated. And all these spokespersons, all these non-state actors, I keep insisting, should watch the kind of rhetoric that they espouse.
So there appears to be a clash between these organizations. I mean, I believe that the Eastern Security Network was formed because of those Fulani headers crisis that was occurring during the time that it was formed. And I believe that it was under the Southeastern governor's watch. What had happened then?
So you see, this is my issue. Nature abhors a vacuum. When the leadership fails to act in a timely fashion, something else will fill that vacuum. Right. And what has filled that vacuum is IPOB and ESN. So to now come belatedly with Ebubeagu, you're now trying to, sort of push them aside, and there will be some resistance. I had to find a polite word. The word I was going to say was not the best one. Yeah, so there will be some resistance, and this is what has happened now. So the whole statement that Emma Powerful made, the only point that I agree with is the belated action of the leaders and the consequences thereof. The rest of that statement I completely reject. They have no right to issue threats. And really, it's so sad that everybody in Nigeria, all right-thinking Nigerians, all we're all trying to do is make our country peaceful and safe. So I do think that there's a lot of room for collaboration rather than, fire and brimstone and saying you're going to join your ancestors. That's a very unfortunate rhetoric, and it's unacceptable.
I agree with you. We'll take another story. As the country marks 7 years since the abduction of the Chibok schoolgirls, pictures of 7 schools in their moribund state in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, has made the rounds. A report carried out by an online publication, The Cable, reveals students learning in harsh living conditions and facing the risk of abduction. Besides the moribund state of the classrooms, other needed amenities such as laboratory, staff quarters, and toilets were also lacking. The report further indicated that efforts to renovate the school have been abortive. However, as at the time of the filing of this report, the minister of the SCT, Mohammed Musa Adamu, says authorities are embarking on repairs of the school based on annual budgetary provisions. Rufai, I cannot believe at this time in our economy, I mean, do you see those pictures? Our leaders, our future leaders, are made to learn in this decrepit state.
I mean, Oji, that's the sad reality of Nigeria. That's how we rate our future leaders, because it's what you do that determines how people see you and the outlook in general. I think it was Ralph Waldo Emerson that said, what you do speaks so loud, I can't hear what you say. So what we are doing, the way we are raising our future leaders, the dilapidated nature of the school speaks so loud about what our leadership think about the future of our children, that whatever they say they've spent in school feeding program, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it, because this is where the future of this country is baked. This is where senators, lawyers, doctors, and people that glorify the name of the country in the future, this is where they are baked. And apart from this, you have 12.5 million pupils out of school. So the ones that are in school, these are the kind of schools they go to. Think of the ones out of school. Think of the ones in IDP camp. It is very sad, and something must be done about it. Education, I know there's something called SUBEB. There's a state education board that oversees education, that oversees infrastructure, that spends money. But what do? Corruption fritters away everything. I am sure the school feeding program got to schools like this. How can you feed people in schools like this when the place for them to learn is in this dilapidated nature? And this is the indication of how schools are in general in the country. You know, government schools. We saw the school the other day, the Kankara school. Well, that was a government school. See the dilapidated nature. Schools in Nigeria are falling apart. Nothing has been done as regards them. You cannot build a country this way. You compare yourself with Germany, France, and other parts of the West. They spend on education. Their schools are models. But look at the nature. And I'm sure it's not only in Abuja this is happening. If you take a camera and go to other parts of the country, you see schools are the same way. I was seeing a school that was, I think it was still the same Cable that did the documentary on the school. It was worse than this. It was somewhere in the Mekwafo or thereabout in Ogun State. We don't pay enough attention to education. And we must rise up and do what is right and fit for ourselves in this part of the world. You wonder, what kind of leaders do we have? We've had leaders in this same country that focused on education. Obafemi Awolowo, free education, increased primary school enrollment rate in the 50s. But you don't see that any longer.
Tundu, your take on this?
It's unconscionable. I don't have anything to add to what Rufai has said. It's so disgraceful. This is a national disgrace. It's an eyesore.
I am so embarrassed. I mean, if you read the report, you could see that some of those students, I mean, there were also the fact that they were overpopulated. No classrooms for these students. Students are made to learn in the state at this time of our economy. I am so embarrassed. And I'm bringing this up and hoping that the FCT minister will take a look at this and do something about it. I don't know about these budgetary provisions or whatnot, the excuse that they made. It is at this point not necessary. Dr. Bati, before I take your comment, we'll have to go on a short break. And when we come back, what's trending on the morning show? We'll continue. Stay with us. Welcome back to the morning show. We're still on What's Trending. Dr. Abati, before we went on a break, we were discussing the 7 schools that are in a moribund state in the Federal Capital Territory.
Well, as imagery, as symbol, as metaphor, I think that those 7 schools, in fact, tell the story of Nigeria itself. Like, you say the schools are in a decrepit state.
Yes.
That the structures are dilapidated.
Yes.
Isn't that the same problem with Nigeria? What makes this really disturbing is that we're talking about the education sector. Anybody will tell you that any serious country will invest heavily in the education sector. Right. Because that's when you prepare the children for the future, for them to become competitive. Even countries like the UK, like Germany, like developed countries, they are continually investing in education and providing opportunities for their young persons. because they know that the world has become competitive. It will even become more competitive. Now, how do you prepare a child? And we're told by education experts that the early years are the most important.
Right.
Now, some of those schools are primary schools. Some of those, about 3 out of those 7 schools that the cable reporter investigated, they are primary schools. So how does anybody grow, with this kind of background? And then, of course, the risks involved. Any of those buildings shown on TV now could collapse at any time.
Correct.
With the students sitting down there.
Correct.
We're told that when it rains, it pours, the rain pours on their heads.
Look at this.
Now, this is just about the infrastructure that has been provided. How about the teachers? The other day, we were told in one state in the north, some teachers were asked to take elementary exam. Half of them failed.
Kaduna.
It's Kaduna State. Yes, I didn't want to, call out Kaduna State. But this is the reality in which we have found ourselves. And I hope that something will be done about this. Finally, the point you raised about the excuse given by the FCT Education Department. Now, the official who was interviewed said, well, they can only renovate schools based on what is allocated to education in the FCT budget. If you go and check, I'm sure the education budget of the FCT gets the smallest share of it, but more money will be allocated to the maintenance of vehicles. More money, you can be sure, will be allocated to the allowances for the senior officials. But education, which is more important, and health, those ones are the sections that will get pittance. And I think that somebody should go and take a look at the budget of the FCT so that we can do a proper deconstruction of it and see whether there is sense in how that budget is allocated line by line.
Well said, Dr. Abati. Well said. We'll take another story. A man seen in a video now circulating online accused 4 Nigerian police officers of intimidation after they threatened to arrest him for driving a vehicle with false particulars. Let's take a look.
My papers. You're with my papers. You're with my papers, and you say that my engine number is not correct. I said, show me the engine number in the car, Mr. Wulu. Show me the engine number in the car. I'm just before Ikokuya, this Catholic church. You say my papers is faulty, that there is an engine number and it's not on the paper. Show me that engine number. Let us cross check it with the paper he has here and find out. We are going to station for what is my crime? Show me the engine number in the car. You cannot show me. You're telling me to call a mechanic. Is that how we behave? You guys will kill me. Christian Wulu, my one police is on record because you guys want to intimidate me. I know. Yes, I know. But he's still keeping me. I've spent more than 1 hour.
Because we are writing the engine number for you.
See, where is the paper? Who is writing? You have spent 1 hour here, and before I decided to do this live video.
Rufai, I mean, these police officers have not turned themselves into mechanics.
Mechanical Wulu. Show me your engine number. I mean, it's just a sad commentary of what Nigeria has become. That's what Nigeria has become. You want to collect money from that man, you want to steal from him, you say his particulars are wrong, they're saying, show me your engine number, you are touching a manifold and other parts of the car. The car doesn't even know where to...
I mean, Tundu, quickly comment from you before we go to our next story.
I'm really glad that man had his phone and had,
Yes, this is what we're talking about
now.
He
even thought about, documenting this exchange, this encounter that he had, because it's completely ridiculous. And this is exactly why, though our hearts go out to the police when they're maligned, when they're attacked, it's people like this that create the bad impression. It's people like this that cause people to disrespect this uniform. This is disgraceful.
Yes, Dr. Abati.
Well, let me play the devil's advocate. Policemen try to check your engine numbers or what they call chassis number or whatever to be sure that the vehicle is not a stolen one. And, in Nigeria here, many of the vehicles on the road are second-hand, what we call Tukumba vehicles. So oftentimes people change the engine. When you change your engine, you are supposed to go back to the registration, the VIO office, and make sure that you get the right papers so that the new engine will align with the papers that you are carrying. And many people have been exposed to this. They get accosted by the police who are looking for stolen vehicles. And some of the policemen know where the number is. It's just that this one is an incompetent, inexperienced policeman who is looking for the engine number as if he was looking for a pin in a haystack.
Wasn't he trained?
So it's an embarrassment. So, the poor training, the poor level of preparedness among our policemen. But yes, the gentleman was courageous enough to stand up to the policeman. Another person would just have given bribe and gone his way. But he wanted to insist on his right, and it's proper and fit that he did so. Some other people, however, in his situation, may not have been lucky. He could have been shot.
Yes.
For his bravery, for his insistence that the policeman should do his job and show him the engine number. But this is a happy ending kind of story, I hope. You know, but not many Nigerians will have that courage to stand up to the police, because you could be gunned down.
Yes,
and it will be called accidental discharge.
Exactly. What got me though was the fact that the man was saying that the police officers had kept him there for an hour, looking for the 1 hour before he decided
like
to
a pin in a haystack.
his phone.
He was trying to process the engine number. It's just very sad. It's a sad indication of the way things have gone terribly bad in this country. And let's call a spade a spade. The new police IG should look at these officers and take them up on it. Let's sanitize our police force. When they do well, let's say they have done well. But these ones, in local parlance, they're not trying.
Right. Well, before we wrap up what's trending today, reports reaching us indicate that the video shown last week, indicating that the staff of the Benin Electricity Distribution Company was attacked by hoodlums in Warri, Delta State, was actually an old video. Officials at the electricity company have formally debunked that any member of their staff was attacked. I'm happy that they came out to debunk it. Thank God that it is not, their staff. But still, I don't know the story about this young man. We don't know what has happened to this young man that was pulled down from the electric pole. And hopefully what news will come forward with that information. Rufai, you were saying something?
We had seen cases where people will tell you, members of staff of electricity companies, climb the pole. Once they climb the pole, they'll come and pull the ladder beneath. And it's sad. It's wrong. They'll come, they'll pull the ladder beneath, or they'll start to shake the ladder. So this might not be it. Like they said, great, we're happy about it. But please, people out there, if you have grounds, go to the power company. Don't take it out on the member of staff. We know people. People have been beaten just for coming to distribute bills, electricity bills in some areas in this country. They've been beaten and they've been hurt. Let's not forget these people to have family members.
Yes, this was horrific, what happened to this man. Really, really horrific. Dr. Abati, before we go, a quick comment from you.
Well, I mean, I think the point has been well made. The trust problem between the electricity companies and the consumers of electricity. And we hope that, service will also improve, because many of the people are aggrieved. They think that the disco companies, the discos, do not have the right to give them tough bills, high bills, even when the electricity is not provided. So there are many dimensions to it.
Right.
But, well, it's good, the clarification that you have done to show
People
that there
should
was
please not lie when they post videos on social media, for crying out loud.
I mean, why send those types of videos and then give a descriptive
anyway, thank you, OJ.
information like that?
I think we need to go now.
Thank you. That's all I have for you guys.
Yes, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.